Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan salam sejahtera. Very good evening, everybody. His Excellency Dr. Kau Kim Hoon, Secretary General of ASEAN, yang berbahagia Datuk Profesor Dr. Muhammad Faiz Abdullah, Chairman of ISIS Malaysia, happen to be my college mate in university, Dr. Jose, Chairman of ISIS ASEAN, head and members of ASEAN ISIS Network, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a keynote address, okay? This is going to be very, very light, as what Faiz mentioned just now, as a dinner address only. Touch base on what we are doing, what is concerning us in Malaysia, but the keynote address will be delivered by our Prime Minister in the morning of 6th of June, day after tomorrow. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by congratulating ISIS Malaysia and its partners for their continued dedication to sustaining meaningful track to engagements in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. In the scheme of Track 2 platforms, in this region, the Asia-Pacific Roundtable stand out. The organizers have successfully carved a niche and an esteemed reputation for this roundtable as one of the key conferences of its kind in this region. Over the past 6 months or so, I have had the privilege to visiting numerous countries in the course of my duties as Foreign Minister. Drawing from the discourse that I have had, a question that is often posed to me and my colleagues at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is Malaysia's approach to foreign policy, especially under this unity government. Our fundamental principles, which have been built on sound values and practical considerations, remain consistent. We are steadfast in our commitment to non-alignment, peaceful resolution of disputes, and international law, while advocating for mutually beneficial relations. Malaysia also upholds multilateralism, which plays a crucial part in achieving our foreign policy objectives. That said, however, it is not all business as usual. As many of you know, this government has introduced the Malaysia Madani Policy Framework, which aims to transform Malaysia into not just a modern and advanced society, but one of its value-driven. These Madani values have fortified our foreign policy approach. We are fortunate to have a very proactive and globally savvy Prime Minister who articulates Malaysia's foreign policy position and actively seeks to foster meaningful collaborations with foreign partners. We are also committed to drawing in more investments, particularly in high-value, high-growth industry to the country. As a trading nation, Malaysia strives to create a business-friendly environment. The introduction of economy-driven initiatives such as Madani Economy Framework, the new Industrial Master Plan 2030, and the National Energy Transition Roadmap serve this purpose. Driven by its economic interests, this aspect of Malaysia's foreign policy has had a significant impact on the way we conduct business in the future. Given the current landscape of intense competition and the strategic use of trade and investment, I am optimistic that our diplomats will seize the opportunities that are emerging before us and actively pursue economy diplomacy initiatives to support our trade and supply chain advantages. Another frequent topic is Malaysia's upcoming chairing of ASEAN next year. This is something many of you will be touching on over the next 2 days. I won't go into the specific. One thing is for sure, Malaysia's ASEAN Chairmanship will firmly uphold our national and foreign policy values, as well as our commitment to the regional organization that we jointly founded 57 years ago. ASEAN and Southeast Asia have made remarkable progress on all fronts. Our community has now maturing, processes within the pillars are being streamlined, and long-term goals will soon be in place. The ASEAN Community Vision 2045, which Malaysia has been entrusted to coordinate as a coming chair, will mark another seminal moment for ASEAN. True, some challenges remain, but ASEAN has never been without challenges. Its very foundation was spurred by a desire to overcome strife and challenges of the time. ASEAN has continued to overcome these challenges together. We have grown together. A key factor in enabling this progress is our emphasis on centrality and, perhaps more importantly, cohesion. Together with our external partners, I believe a central and cohesion ASEAN can exert a positive influence in mitigating the adverse effects of major power rivalry in the Asia-Pacific. Ladies and gentlemen, my final point for the evening is on key conflicts in our region and beyond. Two of them stand out, Myanmar and Palestine. Undeniably, the unfolding events beyond our borders have never been more important from our security and stability. The civil war in Myanmar remains one of the most critical and pressing issues for ASEAN to manage. Let me be frank, ladies and gentlemen, we can and should do better. ASEAN and its member states must get our house in order to strive for workable consensus. We must enhance the effectiveness of humanitarian aid distribution and engage all stakeholders to prepare for political reconciliation. We cannot ignore developments in Myanmar, as its internal dynamics has regional consequences. Malaysia, in particular, is facing the effects from displaced peoples who have been forced to flee or denied a chance to return. To reiterate a constant point made by Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim, non-interference is not an excuse for indifference. On Palestine, Malaysia have consistently pointed out that the root causes of the crisis must be addressed. The events that led to the ongoing destruction of Gaza did not occur suddenly on October 7 last year, nor did it happen in a vacuum. Palestinians have been subjected to almost 80 years of subjugation. The last few months have shown us that the government in Tel Aviv, if left unchecked, has no qualm about committing barbaric and inhuman acts of atrocity. Israel's friends and allies must persuade its government to immediately end its aggression in Gaza. Malaysia stands firm in our position that the Palestinians deserve their own independent and sovereign state through the two-state solution based on pre-1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. This might seem a small possibility amid current circumstances, but it remains the only viable solution to decades of injustice. Ladies and gentlemen, the tragedies in Myanmar and Palestine might seem rather gloomy notes to end the dinner address with. There are many others, including the ongoing civil war in Sudan and the war in Ukraine. Yet these are difficult realities that we must contend with. Too often, it appears that the international mechanisms and the international laws and norms that underpin them continue to crack under the strain of these pressures. Their view is that chaos will continue unabated, that the system is too dysfunctional, or that major powers are too vested in their own rivalries at the expense of more inclusive and multilateral approaches. That, of course, is the pessimistic viewpoint. But the optimists have a different take. They continue to see hope amid the challenges of this interregnum. It is my strong conviction that there is cause for optimism on a global scale. These difficult circumstances that we find ourselves in can be overcome together collectively. Decades of multilateralism and cooperation cannot be simply swept aside. It will not benefit anyone. The developed nations of this world, the global south, even the major power of China and the United States, we all have too much to lose. In conclusion, let me reiterate my congratulations again to ISIS Malaysia and its partners for convening the 37th edition of this Asia-Pacific Roundtable. I wish to thank you for this honor and my best wishes to all of you for a productive roundtable. Thank you.